Hi class, we're in week 15 and it's time for the final component of your signature assignment for this course. And so as you can see here, I'm under signature assignments and we are going to go to step 3, the final paper. You're going to submit this paper in 2 different places. Okay, the final paper right here, this is the main place you get graded. I don't really grade your portfolio submission. The only thing you get for your portfolio submission is 5 points for completing it. But I will not be grading the portfolio submission, only the fact that you put it in there. I will be grading the final paper. So be very, very thorough and thoughtful that you are submitting your final project in both places so you do not miss any points. If you submit here and not here, you're going to be in trouble. So that's step 1. If you do not know how to set up your portfolio, I have a folder here for you called Assignment Resources, and this will teach you how to set up your portfolio. Remember that you are submitting under the scientific ways of knowing. Do not put it in Quid or anything else. If I can't find it, it's not there. So please make sure that you make a page for scientific ways of knowing. That is all I have on the portfolio submission. Here, let's talk about this last portion. Now, for the first part, much like when you read a research article, you're going to give a small synopsis of what has come prior to this final paper, because this is the ending product or the accumulation of all of that you've done up to this point. And so these very beginning sections are actually really important, but what's really important is that you follow through on the direction. And so we want to explain to the reader, whether the reader be me, whether the reader be someone else you want to show your signature assignment to, that they understood the process with which you went through to get to your final paper. Please use this exact outline format directly. You can start with your problem statement and your recommended solution. Note how little you are writing. This is semi-close to a cut and paste. You will see that most of this is not, so I don't want you to get really excited for that. But this may be the only place, but make sure that you are communicating well. If I gave you any feedback, that you're being very direct. If it were me, I wouldn't cut and paste it. I would make sure that I, now having been through all these steps, that I wrote exactly what I meant to say. And so you can do your problem statement, your recommended solution, and your plan of action. Note that I said 200 words or less. Some of you are going to be really tempted to be like, here's my meal plan for 3 days, or here's my, 5 pages of work. You will lose points for that. Your plan of action is meant to be concise. It should include barriers, really. So now we're focusing on your paper that you wrote, and that it's no more than 200 words. Okay. Your results section, just your results section, will be about 1.5 to 2 pages. It may be a little bit longer. Okay, so also keep in mind, if you think all of this ends up being 1.5 to 2 pages, you will probably be short. So for your results sections, here is your opportunity to reflect on this entire process. Give me everything. Give me anything that you can think of. Remember, my goal is that you get the best grade possible. That is up to you and how well and how much you communicate. So really think about that. This is not a one and done, meaning that when you write this paper, proofread it and go back and rewrite. This is a formal paper just like the others, so be very thoughtful about that. You're going to go through all of these things. Make sure that you support your recommendations with your reports. You're turning in, just like for every other assignment where you've recorded your food, you're turning in those all reports, and you want to specifically outline those reports. You want to feature those reports. You want to communicate the right data from those reports. Okay, so I gave you an example of if you looked at daily sugar intake, then you want to pull that from your reports. or sodium or however it may be. You may have to estimate a little, and that's okay too. Do not give me a link. Links often don't work, or they require me to access your own personal account. If that happens, I will just give you a 0 for your reports. So make sure, because keep in mind, I don't grade these until you're all gone. And so make sure that A, I can open your work, B, it's in a compatible format, and that C, that you haven't given me any links. Because I would hate for you to lose points and not even realize it. Okay, so how will you be graded? Just like with the rest of the papers, I'll be grading at your thoroughness, at your completion. Did you do a nice job writing a formal paper? You'll notice here there are no references necessary. I did not require references because this is really reflecting on your experience. There are no references needed in any of these above statements either. Just like when you read an abstract of a research article, you don't see references in there. You will get graded on did you submit in both places. Again, 55 points for the actual paper in the right spot, 5 points for the portfolio submission. Did you turn in all the components? Do I have a full reporting of your diet and whatever else may have accompanied that? Did you really try to meet the recommendations? If you had a goal of eating, 7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day and you ate an apple a day, did you meet the recommendations? No, not the ones that you came up with, and you will be graded on that. And so I'm really going to look at, did you do your best? Did you talk to me about doing your best though? Because what you may find is that you experienced a setback. So how did you handle your setback? You don't want me to find a setback in your reports that you didn't discuss up here. For example, an apple a day when it should have been, 7. And then, does the totality of your work demonstrate thought and effort? Okay. So this is your final portion of your paper. I will have your other papers graded by Sunday. You don't need your other paper in order to do this paper. You're not necessarily waiting for feedback on that. And so if you have any questions after watching this video and rereading the portion of the work, then please email me. And I hope you have a great week 15.